Hello to all my partners in Grog out there, all my piggies. I just wanted to pop on real quick to let you know that we've officially launched the My Time Patreon. We talked about it for months, but it's finally here. Are you looking for more My Time content? That's where you're going to find it. If you head over to patreon.com/mytimethepodcast, you'll already find a few bonus podcast episodes. We're squeezing in a little bit more spooky season content, like an episode where we review all of the drinks at Halloween Horror Nights Orlando. Or we have another episode where we review the Horror Nights Hollywood Lights On walkthrough of A Quiet Place. It's not all spooky season content, though. Earlier this year, I went to one of the best tiki bars in the country, the Inferno Room in Indianapolis, with my dad, and I roped him into recording an episode with me. And we've got lots more coming, like video content and monthly happy hour live streams with us. So join in on the fun over at patreon.com/mytimethepodcast. And now, please enjoy your finale episode to this year's spooky season.
Tucked away in the valley of Los Angeles, 42 miles northwest of Disneyland, sits a tiki bar with a 78-drink challenge called the Grog Log. Drink all 78 drinks within 1 year, and you get a plaque with your name on the wall. Let's join two thirsty friends for a little My Time as they embark on a drunken journey through the log and talk about dumb shit like theme parks, drinking, and drinking at theme parks.
Welcome to my grime. This is Dave Kula. And as always, I'm joined by my partner, Igori.
Hello.
I know that I'm mixing up properties, but it doesn't matter.
I didn't know we were doing this voice. I don't know if I can do it.
I want to suck some grog.
Logs.
Logs. I don't.
Grog logs.
Yeah, but I don't want to suck the log. I want to suck the grog. All right. That's
You got
enough.
this.
That's enough. Welcome to My Time, the spooky season finale.
I'm sad,
It came and it went.
as it does every year.
I know.
The whole year I wait, and then it seems like it's gone in a flash.
I know. It's odd.
I guess we just start looking forward to next year now.
I know. Cut to mid-November, we're like, okay,
What do you
let's
think
do a
next year's houses are going to be?
Spec-
Speculation.
Well, it's never too early to start specking next year. John Murdy is writing his treatments for next Halloween season, next HHN. Seems like just yesterday was halfway to Halloween.
I know. It really does seem like that.
Before we get into all the spooky goodness that we have in store for today's finale, we have just a couple of topical things. I know this is going to come out in a couple of days, so it's not like we're talking about things that were too long ago.
Yeah.
This is also spooky, kind of spooky stuff. So we had our episode with Paul Scheer,
Oh, yes.
and we were talking about the costs of Disneyland and whether or not the cost matches the experience. We'll go into this in further detail, but it is odd that the day after we recorded that,
Yep.
they raised the prices for Disneyland.
Yep. Pretty dramatically.
Yeah.
Especially single day tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just recently raised everything at Disney World.
Yeah, that was announced yesterday as the time of recording this. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they introduced the $400 a person
Lightning
Lane.
Which is actually bananas.
Yeah. We'll do an entire episode.
Yeah, because I have a lot of things to say about that.
Yeah, we'll talk a lot about that, but I thought that was kind of spooky, and I thought it was worth
It's
mentioning.
the spookiest thing we've seen this spooky season, to be honest.
However, one little glimmer of light I do want to say in the last couple days that I saw this. On that same Scheer episode, we talked about the boardwalk. We talked about the new restaurant that's coming out to the boardwalk.
Yep, the new cake shop.
Yeah, and how the prices for the kids menu were outrageous.
It was $20 for every kid's thing.
$18 for PBJ. I do want to say that all of our collective complaining was not lost.
No.
And we scored a win, and the prices have been dropped.
But they're not, some things are not dropped that significantly. For example, like the truffle fries were like $25.99, and now they're like $24.99 or something stupid.
Yeah. Well, we got that PB&J all the way from $18 to now it's $12.99.
Which is still insane, but okay.
Still insane.
Yeah.
But I do want to say, let's not stop talking about this shit.
Yeah, because they'll do something.
Yeah, maybe if we just dig in deep, like one out of every like 20 things that they raise.
Put your Minnie Mouse heels in the ground
Yeah.
and say, we ain't doing this,
Yeah,
okay?
Let's do it.
And they did take off the $78 charcuterie plate. It's just gone
Did
now.
they? Oh,
yeah.
God. Okay.
It's just gone now.
All right. So we won.
We win.
We won, kind of.
We got to win.
Okay. Now we'll shift back into spooky season.
Yep.
This is a spooky episode. I'm really excited.
The finale.
We're going to do it. Our friends have asked for it. They've said, when are you going to drink the worst drink on the Grog Log? Today is the day.
We thought we were in misery because spooky season's over, so we're going to commemorate it with the grossest drink that we've heard.
I would say I was very scared this spooky season at all the haunts, but I've never been as scared for something as I am right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty scared as well. This is scarier than Insidious.
This is scarier. This might make me shit my pants.
Or vomit.
Yes.
Maybe both.
It's going
Could be
out.
both ends.
Yeah, it's going out one way or another. We are tackling the Beachcomber's Gold today. What does it look like? It's like a little goblet kind of glass, like a little like
Not a
triangle kind of.
Not a goblet,
It's not a Pilsner glass. It's like a
it's a squatty Stella Artois glass.
Yeah, like
That's
if
exactly
you
what
order
it
a
is.
Stella, kind of like a wine glass a little bit, but it looks kind of red and it
But
looks kind of foamy.
like a watered down cherry Coke, maybe. A little bit.
Yeah,
And it is foamy.
maybe. It is foamy, and it's like kind of like spider webby down the sides.
I know,
of
I
it.
don't like it.
And it's got a lime.
Got garnished with a lime.
And our wonderful bartender Gabby made it for
We
us
felt
today.
trusting that she was going to do it up.
And she made sure that she made it correctly and took a little taster of it, and she goes, "Oh,
Ooh, yeah." And I was like, great.
okay." I haven't been this scared in a haunt season, so oh, God.
The drinks awake to we're awake.
Yeah,
We got to do the traditional for this bad boy. It looks so
Yeah,
weird.
Cheers. Oh, God.
Oh, my God. Oh.
Holy shit.
Oh, my God.
Oh, it bad.
Gabby, how are we going to drink this whole thing?
Oh, I don't. What am I tasting?
I don't know.
I can only describe this as medicinal.
Yeah,
There's no.
it's bitter. And also, like, I'm getting, like, some cinnamon. Are you?
I don't know. My entire mouth just feels numb from like cough syrup. It is straight medicine. This is a prank drink.
I swear I'm getting, like, cinnamon or, like, nutmeg or something a little bit. But, yes, it's very medicinal. Oh, it's bad. It's layered. It's like it hits you and then like it keeps coming in different ways.
I don't know how we're gonna make it through this drink.
When she handed it to us too, she goes, "Oh, at least it's not a big glass."
Oh, like I kind of see what you mean about the cinnamon. Like
It's giving me
kinda-
a tingle. You
it
know?
kind of tastes like, in a not good way. If I just took a spoonful of Old Bay.
Yeah, but we love Old Bay.
I love Old
Yeah.
Bay, but like I don't want to eat Old Bay, and then
No.
like it would. Ugh.
Remember that like viral challenge where you had to like do the spoonful of cinnamon?
I 100% rather do that than this.
I
right
feel
now.
like that's maybe what this tastes like though, a little bit.
Ugh.
What's in it?
Oh my God. Oh,
It's so weird tasting. I've never had a drink that tastes like this in my entire life.
I don't know why this exists. I don't know who would drink this.
Remember
I
how
don't-
we've talked about many times things being balanced?
Yes.
This is the polar opposite of that.
This is like a TikTok like bitter challenge.
This is like you poured the bar mat into a cup and are drinking it, kind of.
I would prefer that because it would at least have some sort of juice,
Juice in there,
or
yeah.
something.
Sweeten it up a little bit.
Beachcomber's Gold.
Oh.
Good God. Okay, we've got French vermouth, Italian vermouth,
It's just all vermouth?
bitters, Pernod, and Puerto Rican rum.
That's it?
That's it.
No juice.
There's nothing cutting this. It's just alcohol on bitters on alcohol.
Who invented this? Please get to that part because I need to have a word with them.
By Don the Beachcomber. This must have been a drink that like he like leaked the recipe as like a
Joke?
somebody else will steal this and make it
And
then
it's horrible.
they'll get
Yeah.
fucked.
Wait, what's the dude's face look like?
It's
I'm
gotta
sure
be
it's
fucked up.
fucked up.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my God. Honestly, we have to drink it because that's what we do. I think we're gonna get tanked. Like not only because
Might be
it's
taking
just
the lift home.
Yeah.
It's such a weird flavor. Like I'm struggling with how to even describe it. When you first sip it, I don't even taste the rum, to be honest. Do you?
Fuck. I
It's
don't.
just the combination of the types of bitters create a very weird taste.
Yeah. And the Pernod, I just don't like licorice. I'm
No,
tasting a little bit of
I think
that.
it's the Fernode with the bitters is what makes it really taste weird.
I think this is gonna make me fucked up, not only because it's just like a stiff drink, but also because it just tastes really stiff.
It
And like,
doesn't taste good, yeah.
so I think that like when a drink is like that, I normally.
I will be honest though. I don't think this is as bad as a couple of the others.
Oh, this is my least favorite. This is my. I'm looking at it and I'm like, damn, this cup looks big right now.
Like the one with the cold brew, I think was worse than this.
I would take that. This is
And the other, what was that other cough syrup one in the goblet?
Cruzana.
Yeah, that was worse than this to me too.
So what are you gonna give it?
I don't know if I'm ready to rate yet. I think we have to rate once we're finished with it.
I'm gonna give this a 0.25.
I'll give it
giving
a
it a
1
point-
right now.
I'm gonna give it a 0.25 because it. I don't know. Actually, I take it back. I might give it a straight up 0. It's the worst.
It's really weird.
It's awful. If I ever see this drink again, it'll be too soon.
I kind of also feel like I'm starting to like breathe fire, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I guess because it's not causing me physical harm. Like maybe it's not a 0. Like it's not like thumbtacks.
Right now I'm at 1. We'll see where I land when I'm done.
I'll give it a 0.25 with the oh god, I'm already
Asterisk that it
feeling
might drop.
Yeah.
I know I feel a little
Yeah.
woozy, like a little like,
It's
"Ooh,
already
where
hitting
am I?"
me.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, let's do this.
Yeah. So okay, you've heard us go to Horror Nights Hollywood. You've
Horror
heard-
Nights Orlando.
and Knott Scary Farm.
So we've done 3 haunts.
We've done 3 haunts.
Total of 29 haunted attractions.
Yeah. We can't squeeze more in. Like we've got
I mean, we probably
families.
could, but we'd be divorced, maybe. Yeah.
We've got families. We've got the
Kids.
show. We've got obligations. It's just September and October have
Gone by fast.
been exhausting.
I do feel a little weird.
Okay, so here's what we've done. We've gone to all these places, as Corey mentioned, 29 haunts,
Or
mazes,
houses. And we included Terror Tram from
right,
Hollywood.
right, and
Not including scare zones anywhere.
And we've done them enough that we're ready to tell you what our rankings are, our overall rankings of all of the things.
We thought it'd be fun to put everything together,
Yeah.
compare all the haunts.
Yeah, there were some surprises for me overall. I'll say that.
Same.
Like I was pretty shocked at
Some
just
things.
how I felt about everything. So we're gonna give out a gold, silver, and bronze.
Some awards.
Some awards. What was the criteria for your ranking?
My rankings were, it was very easy for me to do the top, and it was very easy for me to do the bottom. The middle was really tough for me. I was telling my mother-in-law this actually before we left. I was having such a hard time with this because it's tough. You could really like the theme. You could have a great run-through, or you could have a terrible run-through.
Right.
What if you really liked the theme, had a terrible run-through, and then later have a great run-through? Like, that's hard to then rank.
Yeah.
So I'm ranking these. My criteria is the best experience that I had at any given time.
Yeah, I think that's smart.
Okay. So if we had the best run through ever where everything was firing, that's going to be at the top of my list probably. Whereas if we had a run through where nobody was home, that's going to be at the bottom.
Sure.
Like if we never experienced an actual good run through, even if I like the theme,
That's smart.
that's at the bottom for me.
Yeah, I get that. The way I did my ranking was pretty similar. Like you, the top 10 was like pretty easy and
Yeah.
fell into place. But then for me, it became like how much I remembered about the house.
You
Like,
get haunt haze, as like people call it.
Right.
Is like it's tough to remember certain things.
yeah, exactly. And then there were times that I was like, oh, well, I clearly remember this one cool element. So that knocked it up in
Sure.
my rankings
Yeah.
pretty much. So the bottom of my list is like things that like I just didn't really retain.
Yep.
Like
Didn't have an impact.
it didn't
on
have
you.
an impact at
Yeah.
all. So all right. So hit me with your bottom 10. Go from 29 to 21.
Okay. My 29 was room 13 from Knott's, which was like the Prohibition style one.
Holy shit.
We just didn't have a good run through of that. And I didn't not like the theme, but like we didn't have a good run through ever.
Oh.
My 28, I'm going to go quick.
Yeah, go
I'm just
quick.
going to do
All
like a
right,
sentence
go
on
quick.
each one. 28, 8 Fingers, 9 at Knott's, same reason. I didn't not like the concept, but we did not have a good run through. 27, Waxworks at Knott's. Also, didn't have a good run through. Nobody was home. And I had seen that one in 2019. And it was remarkably better than what we walked through. So that was disappointing to me. Number 26, Museum Deadly Exhibit from HHN Orlando. Number 25, Terror Tram from HHN Hollywood. Just they trimmed it down and like didn't love it.
Got it.
24, Widows from Not Scary Farm, which was the new maze this year that was like a retirement home infested by black widows. Not my jam. Number 23, Eternal Bloodlines Hollywood Horror Nights. Woofda. It pains me to do that, but that's where it is. Number 22, Chilling Chambers from Not Scary Farm, which was like the collab house from the last like 50 years or whatever, which a lot of those things I just didn't identify with. It was a fine house. I just didn't identify with it. And number 21 was Grimoire from Not Scary Farm.
Wow. We're close in certain ways, but then very far off in others.
Okay.
Wow.
Let's hear yours and then we can discuss a little bit.
All right. 29. I said Terror Tram.
Wow, that was the worst for you.
29. There's nothing redeeming about Terror Tram. 28. Waxworks at Knott's. 27. Widows. 26. 8 Fingers 9. 25. Museum Deadly Exhibit.
We're not that far off.
No, we're not that far off. 24, Bloodlines at Hollywood.
Okay.
23, Ghostbusters at Hollywood.
Yeah, you were not a fan.
22, Quiet Place at Orlando.
Oh, wow. Okay.
21, Chilling Chambers.
Okay. We had some similarities.
So for me, when I reflected on the whole season, the houses that doubled up on both coasts of Horror Nights, they're the ones that I really liked. And then to me, it made the ones that I didn't like as much worse.
Yep. That's
so
the trouble with going both coasts sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was just like...
You don't know what you're missing if you haven't seen the other half. Yeah.
There are things that I love about that Ghostbusters here, but like the whole thing just kind of sucks a little bit. And like
it's hot in there and it shouldn't be hot. Like, yeah.
Yeah. And then there are things like the Frozen scene in there at the
little
ballroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Frozen ballroom scene. Just sucks. It doesn't look as good.
It wasn't as good as Orlando for sure. It wasn't comparable, honestly.
There were no even scare actors. Like in Orlando, there's a fireman that jumps out in there. Like there's I don't know. There's a lot.
The attention to detail was better in Orlando.
Way better. So that's why things like that hurt. The Terror Tram to me just was a suck of time. I hated it. I didn't even have fun. Like the whole time I was like walking through it, I didn't connect with the Blumhouse properties. Like they weren't incorporated in a fun way. It was just like...
It seemed really cheap, too.
Yeah, like Megan's going to dance at you and then run at you. Fine. I love that. But then like, I don't know. It just seemed wedged in and not fun.
And they cut it by half, basically, because you no longer went through Jupiter's Claim.
Look, we went back like a week ago. We didn't even go and do the Terror Tram.
Nope.
And neither of us felt bad about it.
We were like, bye, let's go. The only reason I ranked it slightly higher is, I guess, another thing I was trying to think of when I was doing this list. If I was like coming in from out of town, what would I be impressed with and not? And I do think Terror Tram, honestly, to a fault and a positive, banks on the fact that it's on the back lot, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. It is completely skippable this year.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
And then maybe also like the fact that I loved it last year, like kind of.
Freaking Larry Larva was amazing.
I know.
Bring Larry back.
Yeah, he's got to have his own house.
He's got to have his own house.
So what shocks me from your list, my one shock.
What?
Was room 13. I really liked that house. And maybe even being like two people in front of you.
Yeah, because that's when we went through with Mike. Yeah, so maybe we were just
like maybe even I had a better walkthrough than you did because I didn't have that first time. The second time, fair.
I think that's what I'm remembering is the second time because we went through 3/4 of the house and we had seen like 8 people or something in the entire house. It was just no one was home.
We're both on the same page about those like Waxworks,
Widows, 8 Fingers.
Yeah, they were just like forgettable for me. And
there was nothing stand out about them.
And maybe that's just because Knott's also has a ton of houses.
Sure.
Like there's a lot and we did a lot that night.
Yeah.
And I feel like...
But some of those we did multiple times. Like, we gave multiple chances to, and we still weren't impressed. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not to... We should have put this caveat at the beginning.
Yeah.
This is not any dig on actors, creators, anything.
No.
It's just what we personally like. I can't imagine being a character. That has to be so hard.
Of
Props
course.
to all of them.
Of course. And if you don't have triggers that you're
Yeah,
pressing. At Knott's, they have no triggers, so it's all on you to perform rather
There's
than
very few triggers there.
than
Yeah.
pressing a pedal on the ground and having canned
Which,
line
as
come out.
much as people knock that about Horror Nights on both coasts, it does make the experience better for everyone.
It does help.
Even though like you're in that conga line or whatever, that actor is able to reset and hit that trigger a lot better than a actor that's using their voice
Yeah.
to come at you. It just was more consistent in that sense overall, I would say.
Yeah, I could see that. We'll get into
comparing them.
that at the end because I think that you and I are going to fight a little. Probably.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So my 20.
Hit me with your 20 to 11.
Okay, 20 to 11. My number 20 is Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire in Hollywood.
Okay.
My number 19 is Origins, Curse of Calico at Knott's Scary Farm. My number 18 is Quiet Place, Orlando. My number 17 is Weekend at HHN Hollywood. My number 16 is Mesmer from Knott's Scary Farm. 15, Insidious from Hollywood. 14, Quiet Place from Hollywood. 13, Eternal Bloodlines from Orlando. 12, Slaughter Cinema 2, Orlando HHN. And number 11, Monstrose, Orlando.
We had some same.
Okay.
Samesies. We had
Samesies.
Yeah. Okay. 20 for me. Bloodlines Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
19 Curse of Calico.
Okay.
Was that same?
Yep.
Yeah. You want to just?
I'll say same. Yeah.
You'll say same. Okay. 18 Monstrose Orlando. 17 Slaughter Cinema. 16 The Weekend. 15,
Close.
15 Insidious Hollywood.
Same.
14 Grimoire. 13 Room 13.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you do that on purpose?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I just saw that. I was like, wow. All right. 12 is Mesmer.
Okay.
11 Monstrose 2.
Monstrous 2
Monstrose
in Hollywood.
Oh,
wow. Okay.
2. Okay. So we had a couple similarities and a couple like near hits.
My Grimoire is lower because I feel like the first run through we had was quite good.
Yeah.
And I will say I struggle with this one because I really, really, really liked that black and white effect in that.
Yeah.
I thought that was so cool.
Yeah. So the Grimoire, just to remind everybody, it's a book that the kids are reading, and then you get
It's like a book of evil, essentially.
and then you get transported into the book.
Yeah.
So you go through like a portal, and you go back in time,
Mhm.
and some of it is you're in a foxhole.
Yeah, it was like World War One or Two or something. Yeah.
Then you go through a kitchen, like a 1950s kitchen, and it's all like black and white.
And they open, like this character opens a refrigerator door that you go through to move to the next room, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, really cool. And they have like everything is black and white. There's cans of soup that are black and white. You just feel like everything is black and white. They all say like cannibals soup.
Yeah.
Brain
soup.
Brain soup.
Yeah, I got a cool picture of that.
Yeah.
It's a super cool effect. I think a long time ago, Universal did this in Florida with a Monsters house that was like just a room or two. But how cool would that be if they did Universal Monsters like this?
That'd be awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah.
My only negative with Grimoire is if we weren't nerds and like read everything about stuff, I don't think I would have any idea what's going on in this house.
No.
And even being a nerd and knowing everything about it, it's still kind of hard to follow.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Sometimes I think a lot of these houses try to come up with concepts that are too complicated.
Like shooting for the moon a little too far.
Like, let's give them like a really cool story because I think that that's what people asked for at some point. By the way, this drink is very small.
I'm almost done, yeah.
I just finished it. It still sucks, but like I'm like proud of myself. I'm like proud. Like I made it through and I'm like
cheers, friend.
Yeah, cheers.
We did it.
Yeah, we've done it. 0.25.
I'm keeping my one, honestly.
Yeah. So like I feel like somebody asked for like, let's have some real thought into these houses. Let's have and like people are like, okay, you don't just like scary goblins.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, we'll come up with like a thing and you have to try to figure it out.
And not for nothing, the ones towards the top of my list are pretty freaking simple concepts.
I know.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I loved what they tried to do. I loved some of the scares in it. It was very memorable for me.
Yeah. Very memorable.
Same thing with like Mesmer.
Mesmer, we both really liked.
Mesmer was my number 12.
My 16.
That was the one that is like a carnival like magician.
It's a magician,
and they had really cool like movement that there was like
some effects I haven't seen in many other things.
yes,
Yeah.
and the people kind of followed you, and then you kind of felt dizzy because you felt like the room was spinning.
And there was a part that looked like you were walking over a tightrope, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, so there were lots of like.
And then
really...
there was the elephant poo-poo part,
yes,
which seemed very random.
Yeah, so it was very cool. Like,
it was unique. I liked it, and being someone that doesn't necessarily like quote unquote carnival houses, I liked this one. Yeah,
it was fun. All right, and then I just want to defend Monstros 2 being outside the top 10 for me. I really wanted to like it more.
Yeah.
And I struggled. And we had a good run through.
We had a great run through the other night.
Yeah. We had like the best run through maybe of any house that night.
On that night, hoofda.
But still something just felt a little bit forced to me. And like...
It might be feeling a little tired because we've done it a few times now.
And it's just like... There's just some things that don't work for me, and like in where they put the scares in that house, and a lot of it is.
I could understand
the beginning of it is very animatronic puppet heavy, and it just didn't work for me. And
I really like the Latin folklore aspects.
Yeah,
but maybe we don't need to do 3 in a house anymore. Let's just focus on 1.
Yeah,
like they did La Llorona and stuff like that. Like. Sometimes, especially like in a smaller space in Hollywood, you can't like get the whole story of each legend. You know what I mean? And I would appreciate seeing it play out a bit more.
Also, here's a house that like if you don't do your reading about these people,
you have no
like,
idea.
You have no idea what's going on. They're just like 3 different versions of scary.
Yeah,
and like there were times like, hey, did you remember walking through that sack of money? And I'm like, no, I have no idea what you're talking about. So yeah, I like what they're doing, but outside the top 10 for me. All right, so
should we pause and get a drink and then finish our 10?
All right, so yeah, we both finished. You're still you're at a 1.
I'm at a 1.
I'm at a 0.5. I'll give it a point.
It's not good, but I think I had built it up so much in my mind that it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
I shivered. I just shivered.
You shivered. I'm
going to give it a 0.3.
Oh, you went down.
I went down. I'm going to give it a 0.3 because it's small.
Okay.
It looked bigger than it was. We're going to do another drink now. We're going to go, and then we're going to hit you with the top 10.
10. Let's do it.
Okay. And we're back.
Did you look at my sheet when I was up?
No.
Okay.
God, no. Why don't you trust me?
I don't know. 'Cause if it was me, I'd be reading your sheet.
Never look at your sheet. My God. Okay, I'm maybe also too drunk to see right now.
It's getting blurry.
Just kidding. I'm not.
No, we're good.
Okay, so we have our second drink. We were 20 down. So
Beachcombers was 19 down.
Wait a minute. So this
is 18 down.
Yeah, y'all. I'm too.
We just did this too off mic, and now we're still confused.
I cannot remember math.
I think we have 18 left after this.
After this. Okay, so this is the 19th next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it's a tall, skinny guy. It's like a kind of orangey colored iced tea, basically. It's got an umbrella.
This is Never Say Die, like the Goonies.
Hey, it's our time.
It's my time. My time down here in Tonga Hut. It's my time.
That should be our cheers. In Tonga Hut, it's my time.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, tall, skinny guy, orangey, kind of. Corey told you it's.
Well, we can do it after we sip it.
It's our time.
It's our time. Oh, that's a delight by comparison.
I know I'm gonna like it once it has to wash. It has to do the.
I still feel the stank of the Beachcomber's Gold a little bit.
I know. Yeah. It's got to wash the other flavor down.
It's like my taste buds like expanded to get all that nasty in, and now they gotta like shrink back to normal size.
It's so weird. Like I'm still tasting the other drink. It just. Yeah, it tastes like a tiki drink. This
one's better.
We're back in the tiki realm.
We're back in the realm of tiki.
Oh, let me tell you what's in this.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's okay. I think if I had this one, oh my God, people are gonna say Dave's drunk again.
Yeah, and then I get all the messages. Dave is so drunk.
I think if I had this one on a different night, I would rate it higher.
Yeah,
I think the proximity to that last one is just gonna kill this.
Our tongue is messed up now. Yeah.
Okay, Never Say Die. What's in it? Lime juice, orange juice, grapefruit juice, pineapple juice, honey, bitters, Barbados rum, Puerto Rican rum, Jamaican rum.
Yeah, it's quite fruity.
The guy looks medium fucked up.
Okay.
And it's by Don the Beachcomber.
Great. That's pretty good. My initial reaction would be like 3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to take more sips of it. Honestly, the last drink fucked me.
Yeah, because my mouth can only taste bitters now.
And then also, I maybe don't like the pineapple juice right now.
I think the pineapple is like offsetting in a weird way, in a not good way.
You know what? Okay, I think I got past it. This is also a
3.5?
3.25. I think if I had this on a different night, it would be a 3.5.
It does still have a stink on it to me.
All
right.
All right. So we're in the top 10.
Do you want me to do 10 to 1 or do you want me to do 10 to like through 5?
Let's go 10 through 6.
10 through 6?
10 through 6 so we
Okay.
can then do the top 5.
Okay. All right. My number 10. Cinema Slasher from Not Scary Farm.
Okay.
My number 9. Triplets of Terror from Orlando Hollywood Horror Nights. My number 8. Dead Exposure Death Valley. My number 7. Monstros 2 Hollywood Horror Nights. And my number 6. Bloodline 1842 Not Scary Farm.
Okay. 10 to 6.
Yep.
Ghostbusters Orlando is number 10.
Okay.
Number 9 is Triplets.
Same.
Had it at the same spot.
Yeah.
Like, I thought you hated that one.
I didn't hate it. It was just like compared to the Orlando ones, but then when I compare them on the list, like it's a good house.
Pleasantly surprised that you put it up there.
I didn't hate it.
That's a major win for me.
Okay, great.
8, Dead Exposure.
Same.
7, Quiet Place Hollywood.
Okay.
6, Texas Chainsaw.
Oh, okay.
That's where we'll stop right now. Bloodlines 1842. Okay, outside the top 5 for you.
Which I will say, which we said this right after we did it, Bloodlines 1842 at Knott's might have been the best run through we had at any house anywhere when we did it at Knott's. It
Right.
was unfucking believable. And the caveat that was so funny is when we went into it, I said to Dave, everyone hates this maze. It used to be interactive and they took that element out and now like people hate it. And then we had a phenomenal run through.
And yet it's outside your top 5?
I've got reasons, which I'll unveil in a minute.
All right. That's wild to me. But okay, you need to go on with your top 5 because now I know what's in it. And
Let's discuss Dead Exposure Death Valley though.
Dead Exposure Death Valley.
Because that was original Hollywood, which being this high up, pretty cool.
Yeah, and I'm going primarily off of
The first
run through that we had, which was really fun and great. We had that big giant gorilla.
Yep.
We had animals like in cages.
Yep.
Animatronic animals in
Which
cages, which was
I think
really
I said on a previous episode, those monkeys were from Dead Exposure Patient Zero in Orlando from like 2018.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was really cool just having a house that kind of broke the mold for walking through a dark house.
It's bright
This
as
was
heck in there.
bright white and like green goo tanks all around and like very sterile.
And being someone who really doesn't like zombies, I was blown away.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like
And even in that room with like all the toxic barrels where they have like some mannequins and some actors.
right.
That first run through we had, I got in there a few times because they were like ducking behind the barrels and coming up. It was scary. It was
Yeah.
good.
And then
But fun too, yeah.
they do this in quite a few houses, but like bodies hanging like like in body bags.
Yeah.
But this one had them in like
Vacuum
sealed bags, which mannequins and vacuum sealed.
It's cool.
Which was like very eerie and
Yeah,
very creepy.
it was gross.
Like
Oh, and that like huge blood stain down that one hallway.
yeah, all these houses. By the way, we're in the top 10 territory, which means that we love
Everything
all these
is
houses.
amazing. Yeah.
So we're just arguing amongst things that we like really loved.
Yeah.
Neither of us disliked any of these houses, but yeah, I loved Dead Exposure.
Yeah, it was
I thought
great.
it was great.
My Monstrous 2 is higher than yours, but
Monstrous 2 is higher than.
I love the legends, and I will say this is the first time in many a year that house location is not my number one in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Because the Parisian Courtyard since 2018 has been my number one house at Hollywood. And
Yeah.
it's not this year.
Something about my list. I just want to bring up Texas Chainsaw
Yeah.
is my number 1 Hollywood house.
Yeah.
That was my top house, and it's outside the top
Top
5.
5. Which is also interesting.
Which is very, very interesting.
All right, should we rip this Band-Aid off?
Yeah.
All right, my number 5, Ghostbusters in Orlando. My number 4, Texas Chainsaw in Hollywood. My number 3, Insidious Orlando. My number 2, Goblin's Feast. My number 1 of the 2024 haunt season. Mr. Sweet's Candy Factory. Major Sweets, sorry, Candy Factory.
Yeah.
Go.
Top 5 for me. 5 was Cinema Slasher.
Great house.
Number 4 was Insidious Orlando.
Okay.
Number 3 was Bloodline 1842.
Whoa, okay.
Number 2 was Goblin's Feast. Number 1 was Major Sweets.
It's poetic we have the same top 2.
Yeah. So for me, and it's probably going to show my cards a little bit, I had 3 out of the top 5 were Orlando. 2 out of the top 5 were Knotts. And none of my top 5 were Hollywood.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
here's the thing. I don't disagree with your top 5 either. Like, they could have all been kind of interchangeable to me. My number 1 and 2, 100% my number
Locks.
1 and 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
like a bagel.
yeah, but like 3 through like 10, I could have interchanged a lot of those.
I'm telling you, I made my list and then I like wrote it down to bring today, and I was already having disagreements with myself, and I was like, just leave it how it is.
Let's discuss Cinema Slasher.
Cinema Slasher, I thought, was such perfect execution. That's what I think. Like,
it gave me the vibes the original Slaughter Cinema did, which failed to occur this year, sadly.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. They basically did like all the horror tropes like Jason or like Michael Myers, whatever, without it being them actually, but they're taking liberties on that.
That's my point. It doesn't need to be IP.
It was completely original, and their transition scenes as the house went on, you walked into like a movie theater with seats and stuff,
right?
And as the maze went on, that movie theater got like more and more decrepit.
Yeah,
it was a really cool effect as a transition scene.
It accomplished everything. And look, not to knock anything about Slaughter Cinema too, I know that they love to make those movie trailers, and I love the work that they put into it, but it just like it didn't matter to me at the end of the day how cool that was if the house didn't blow me away. And the house,
my biggest gripe, like I've said to you, was comparing it to the first one. Each movie had a couple of rooms to play out that story. Mm-hmm. This time it was like not as fleshed out, and like some of them were like 1 room or 1.5 rooms, and it was like one scene, and it really lost the quality and effect comparing the two to me.
For me, it was all about those transitions.
The hallways. Yeah.
In Orlando, Slaughter Cinema 2 was like, here's a movie poster, now you're in that
black
movie.
Hallway. Yeah.
In a black hallway. For this, it was like
a whole scene that also still had scare actors in it.
It was so phenomenal. Good, and it just like blew me away.
I was blown away.
And the sets in there like felt so good, rather than just like, it didn't feel like just a room. I really did feel like...
Honestly, of all the Knott's houses, I think the scenic design at this one was the best.
Yeah, I will say, Bloodline 1842, we're climbing through like, I don't know, like sewer holes.
Yeah,
or like,
you had to duck down at one point.
Yeah.
And like, they also had some cool like track scares that we got perfect timing on.
Oh my God. The stunts in 1842 to me
and we just
sealed
got
the deal.
Every single one.
Single scare.
I don't know. I will say that again. I don't think I've ever had a run through of any house ever where I've gotten every single scare. The only exception I would have to this was the day after the hurricane in 21. We did the Monsters house that year in Orlando, and that was maybe the only second to this where every single actor just was going for it, and just got us. It was great. But Bloodlines, I was blown away by it, especially since I had such low expectations and even warned you of the low expectation going in.
Remind me again, what was 5? What was
5 for me is Ghostbusters Orlando.
Okay, so Ghostbusters Orlando. Top 5 for you.
I love Ghostbusters. You know this. I'm very nostalgic for Ghostbusters, and like, I loved it there. I don't know.
Yeah, I get it. Like,
even it not being, the old movie or whatever, there were notes of it within it. There were some really cool effects, I
It
thought.
was far superior to Hollywood's. Also, something that Hollywood didn't have that Orlando had that I loved was the containment unit, or like the where they put at the firehouse.
Yeah.
That was like breaking open.
Yeah.
With all of like the
ghosts.
ghosts.
Yeah.
They didn't have that here, and that
was
was a
different.
major
Yeah, plot point.
in the movie, and like they missed that.
And the ending scene in Orlando was way better.
The scope of it was great.
Yeah.
That said, to me, I think I just had to go with my gut and the feeling
course.
that it wasn't like it didn't give me the scares that
No.
want from a house.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably why it was a little bit lower for me. But like I appreciated everything about that house.
Yeah.
I think they did a great job with that house.
It was great. I loved it. And especially compared to Orlando's 2019 Ghostbusters, this one was, they fixed it. Yeah.
And then you and I were in tandem, lock and step in lock, step. I don't know. What did they say? We were
in step,
lock and step. Yeah,
in sync.
probably in sync. Like bye. We were both goblins and major sweets.
Stands.
And,
so good.
And we're not the only ones. We saw somebody in Hollywood last week who was wearing a what was he wearing?
The Major Sweets like artist series shirt from Orlando. And we chatted with him for a bit. Yeah.
We said, "Oh, Major Sweets." And he's like, "Major Sweets, goblins,
best houses." Yeah.
And we were like, "Yes."
Because I will say, I was trying to like balance my top 10 with like fun and scary to me. Mm-hmm. And I will say, both Goblins and Major Sweets, the first time we went through them, I got. Like, Major Sweets maybe more so, but like, it scared me a bit the first time.
Major Sweets might not be the scariest house to people.
No.
That was the first house that I've been in where the floor rumbled, and that really got me. That was like
and then when we
one of my scariest moments in all of the houses because it was the first time that I've ever had that.
And then like when we did the unmasking and they like told us how that worked is actually like these compressors above you that clang and then it shakes the whole room essentially.
Yeah.
Which I even appreciated that even more then.
Yeah, it was so cool. They had
the guest activated triggers in there, which was the only house that had those this year.
Was the scare actors were always giving it their all.
We never had a bad run through on that.
Yeah, we went through that one more than
anything else
house
in Orlando. Yeah.
So I do think that was a great. Goblins. Again, I don't think we had a bad run through of Goblins.
Fantastic.
All of the actors were so great.
So good.
That house had
huge sets.
So
impressive.
Scary.
Yeah.
Whimsical. Funny.
You were laughing.
Scary.
You were cowering. Like it was fun.
It got us good several times. I thought that was
and honestly, that's what I'm looking for at Horror Nights.
Yeah.
Like yes, Insidious scared the poo poo out of me, and that is fun on a different level. But like. I like laughing and then being scared, and laughing and then being scared.
100%.
You know? And looking at these huge sets and being in awe, and then somebody gets me.
Well,
you know,
our lists aren't like too far apart.
No, there's more similar than I thought they were going to be. To be honest.
Yeah, there are a couple like I think you can see where this is where I'm leading and where you're leaning.
Yep.
But Oaks, I do want to give out some like. Little some
My Time Awards.
Yeah, My Time Awards. So, what was it for you? Scariest House award.
Insidious Orlando. Yeah.
Insidious Orlando.
To no one's shock. Yeah.
Yeah, was same with me. Insidious Orlando was the scariest house. It wins my Scary House award. Is there anything in that house that, if I was like scariest room or scariest moment in that house for you, or?
To me, it was relentless. Like once it got going, it was relentless the entire time. There was no break, essentially. I would say, as you heard on our recording, the 2 mannequin rooms were not okay with me because why did they do 2 of those? Not cool. But I will say the transition going into the red curtain room with all the lipstick demons, and when we learned on the unmasking that he has like 4 boo holes, same with that room with the woman in black. They just had a unique setup with their scare actors where they could really target someone that looked scared, and guess who that was? Ya girl.
Yeah, you got it pretty bad.
So both the scene with the bride where she had that multiple boo hole, And then the scene with Lipstick Demon where he had the same thing, I think were my standouts for I'm going to crap my pants.
Yeah. Scariest I was all, I think, season
Yeah.
was in that in the mannequin rooms, both of them.
It's very unsettling.
Yeah, it's very, like, that's the worst kind of scare to me. Like, the unsettling, like, somebody's going to get me here, and I don't know who it is. And
because we saw other mannequin rooms this season.
Mannequin room meaning, like, you walk into a room and there's lots of mannequins, and you know that
some actors.
And you know that some of them are going to be actors. And
but
scare the shit out of you.
Done because the one was like a mirrored room, and that was
right. Because in the movie, there are a couple of times where the little kid wakes up and there's just like a bunch of dead people, like just standing at his foot, at his
or like the sheets,
bed.
or like they're like hanging or whatever. Yeah,
yeah.
It was very scary.
Yeah, so that was my scariest moment.
The best iteration I've ever seen of those mannequin rooms for sure.
What was your favorite scare, you think? Like
of the whole season?
Of the whole season, like the most fun you had getting scared at something. I'll tell you mine while you think about it.
Yeah, okay.
For me, it was in 1842.
Yeah, that was I mean, it's hard to pass that up.
In 1842, I'm walking through and I saw the actor above my head. He was suspended above me, and I saw him and he didn't scare me. And then I walked past him, and I didn't know that he could, like, flip down and scare me in front of me after I had already passed him.
There were also people on both sides hanging.
And I didn't see them.
Yeah.
He scared me. I got fucking startled there. Then I turned, and then another person, just perfect timing, just got me right there. That was I walked out, like, I was giddy. I got so scared at that moment.
It was impressive.
Yeah. The way they timed it, I don't know. It was my favorite. It's my favorite scare of the season. I loved that.
I really liked that too. That's hard to beat. I mean, I do love mistreats of the the trash compactor won't get you, the candy will. That might have been the most. Oh my god, that might have been the most impressive scare because like the stunts with 1842 in that scene were really cool, and our timing was just perfect.
Yeah. All right. So now I want to give out what I've called the Larry Larva favorite scare actor or character award. Because I think last year,
Larry Larva stole our hearts.
Was our favorite character of the entire season, our favorite scare actor. Did you have a favorite scare actor or character from this year?
Look, we know it's mistreats, okay? I heart mistreats. I heart her real hard.
I also chose mistreats as my favorite
She had
character.
great triggers. I have a huge crush on her in some weird way.
She was great. I love everything that you've heard us talk about. I have some honorable mentions.
The actors who portrayed her all were on the same line. Do you know what I mean? They like all were very consistent with her character, which I loved.
They understood the assignment.
They did. Okay, I could also give some honorable mentions.
Yeah. Do you want me to go or do you want to go?
Yeah, you go.
Okay. My honorable mentions. I loved the kid in Major Sweets who had candy on her head, who came out and like laughed and like she had like melted goo on her head.
Yeah,
or something like that.
Her trigger was really funny too. What did she? I forget what she says.
I don't remember it, but I remember she always got me.
Yeah,
like it was always scary, and then she like jumps and giggles.
Yeah,
and I was like, "You're wonderful."
She said something silly like "the candy's delicious" or something like that. Like it was just silly.
I loved her.
I loved Puss Number from Goblins.
Oh, okay, that was my number two. That was like the Goblin's Feast host.
Yeah,
the Goblin's Feast host. I loved. He was my next honorable mention.
Yeah, great. Understood the assignment. Perfect.
Yeah, he was so. Welcome to, I forget what he said. Like, welcome to the feast. And then like you turn the corner and then he smacks that hammer down.
Yep.
And then you're like, quickly understand this is not what it's meant to be. Like this, like he was great. Loved him. Also loved, there was a goblin inside. I only saw him, I think the first time that we did a run through. He kind of looked like that big hairy guy from the Muppets, but he scared the shit out of you. And then he laughed.
Oh,
like,
did he?
Yeah, he like chuckled.
I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Oh, was he like a troll?
Yeah, he was like a troll.
Oh, okay.
And he just like, he got you so good.
And then he laughed.
And then he showed me visibly that
he was giggling.
That he was giggling.
That's cute.
which I loved him.
Oh wait, I have another honorable mention.
Yeah.
Sinister and Surreal.
Sinister and Surreal.
Although we didn't really
We didn't see enough of them.
We didn't see enough of them, but what we did see of them up close, their costumes were awesome. I liked that they were live mic'd in the scare zones. I liked that our tour guide on unmasking made it very clear that they are they, which I appreciate.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, it's cool to have like quote unquote queer representation, even in a weird, creepy horror person. It's kind of nice.
I love their costumes too. Their costumes were like
really cool.
Gross.
Oh, what about Dole Whip Eyeball Girl?
Oh yeah, Dole Whip.
She was good. She got the assignment as well.
The gorilla from
Jet Exposure gorilla.
Gorilla. From what I've read, it is only one actor who is able to be the gorilla.
Why?
I don't know, but what I've read on Twix is that is a speculation that there's one guy who can be the gorilla.
So that's why didn't see it in Cast Change the other night.
Yeah. So if he's off, he's off.
Gotcha.
You don't see him.
So you have a 15-minute increment in an hour to see him, basically. Yeah.
The clown in the scare zone on the Rascal scooter.
There was a clown on a Rascal scooter at Knott's in like the Carnival scare zone there. Yeah. That was the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Sassy Vampire in 1842.
Sassy Vampire was wonderful.
Grandpa from Texas Chainsaw.
You love Grandpa. But I also was going to shoot honorable mention too. The second time we did Texas the other night, when we had the different guy with the oar, not the older gentleman, he was a younger gentleman. You like walk through like the chop house section and they're like trying to move you through like cattle. So he has like an oar shaped thing.
Right.
And we'd only seen the same like quite older gentleman that was like, he was doing his job, but he wasn't like super.
Right. And the weird thing is he's got two spots that he can pop out of.
He had 2 holes in it. We never saw him on the other.
But that one.
But there was a younger gentleman doing it the second time we ran through it. And this guy, boy, if he didn't almost hit us in the face with that oar.
Yeah, I almost broke my fucking nose on that fucking
literally.
Oar. And the librarian from Ghostbusters.
Of course, yeah.
Without that hallway,
Ghostbusters
would have been a huge...
Much worse for you.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm drunk.
Oh, wait, and in the main scare zone in Hollywood, the stilts guy that has the boom, 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 boom things on his head.
He's good.
He was really messing with us the other night. He was the best part about that night, to be honest.
Yeah.
I liked him, but it's not toys.
It's not.
It wasn't
it's
toys.
It's not toys. Oh, gosh.
Hollywood wasn't great this year.
Okay. So, should we just get into it?
Sure. Go.
All right.
Rip it to shreds.
Okay. Gold, silver, bronze. What is it? It's not medals. What can we give out? Pumpkins? What can we give out? How about like
skulls?
Yeah, like bleeding skulls.
Or bleeding hearts?
Yeah, gold. I like that. Gold, silver, and bronze bleeding hearts.
Event as a whole.
Event as a whole. I think you and I are both probably unanimous. We can give out our gold. Orlando.
Don't believe critics saying this isn't a good year. It is a good year. So if you still have time when you hear this, go.
I think that it's a really great event. All the houses I enjoyed. The scare zones aren't perfect.
Nothing was a stinker there.
No, nothing. Well, museum. Museum sucks. If you can't make it to all the houses, skip museum.
Yeah.
Don't skip anything else.
Well, Quiet Place wasn't high on my list there, but like it's still
right,
good.
But if that's the only quiet place that you're going to go to, then maybe go to that over Monstrose. I don't know. Okay.
No, because if you haven't seen Monstrose, that one is good.
Oh, true. Very good point. So Orlando, here's where I think that you and I are gonna differ.
This is hard for me.
Who steps onto the silver heart podium? Oh man, this is a big.
This is really hard for me.
It's only hard because you don't want to go against your gut.
No, I don't. It's not my gut. Listen, if I'm comparing the first night we went to Hollywood to Knott's, I'm still going Hollywood. If we compare what we did at Hollywood last week, Knott's is above. So how do you do that?
It's up to you.
I'm still going Hollywood. Hollywood to me is more consistent. It feels like home. It feels like home.
Here's the thing.
To me.
Okay, I'm going Knott's too.
I knew you were going to.
I'm going Knott silver medal. I'm going Hollywood bronze.
Yeah. I respect it.
Hollywood this year was lacking. That first night that we went together, we still went through run-throughs that we were like, well, it wasn't a great run-through.
Yeah.
It wasn't. And then the second night that we went together was like
Abysmal. I will
worse.
say this Saturday I went with Magic King Dad and
Yeah.
his partner. Like, we had some pretty good run-throughs. So, because I've gone one more time than you, so maybe that's also influencing my opinion.
Look, Corey, you are my most loyal friend.
Of course.
And I
I'm
think
also
that
nostalgic, and that's
you're
like my first haunt I ever went to, so I want it to be good.
I know, and
But
I think
can
that
admit its flaws this year. It's the worst year other than the COVID year that I've been to in recent history.
I think that so many of those houses just were flops.
The budget was clearly lacking.
The budget was lacking. The scare zones.
Maybe it's time we get rid of Murdy.
It might be. It might be time to get rid of Murdy.
We're never getting invited for press
no.
pass.
But look, the scare zones were not good this year.
No, the budget was so small for any of them.
We don't know that, though.
I'm saying by comparison of all the years I've been.
Oh, okay.
Next year's my 10-year anniversary, okay?
Yeah.
So I've had 9 years to compare this to. As far as that, this is the worst year of scare zones I can remember off recent memory. Wait, no. COVID year was worse scare zones, 2021.
Sure,
But,
because
like,
people were afraid to be next to each other, probably.
That year was abysmal, to be honest. But this is probably the worst year from memory other than that.
The Knott scare zones were
Those actors
so
go for it.
good.
And they're so interactive, which is part of what we used to love about Hollywood scare zones.
Right. I think for me, the highs were higher
At Knott's.
But
some of the lows at Knott's were pretty low.
The lows at Knott's were low. I will give you that.
I mean, look at our house rankings. We have a
But
lot of Knott's at the bottom.
I know, a lot of Knotts at the bottom. That said, nothing got lower to me than that Terror Tram.
That's true.
So, but it's true. 3 of the houses were completely forgettable for me.
But yeah,
I will give you that. But the highs
were high
at Knott's.
I mean, we both have
soared.
admitted 1842 is the best run through of any house we saw this year.
Yeah, soared.
Yeah.
I when I sit and think about this spooky season, I will think, God, I wish I could do 1842 again. I wish I could do Cinema Slasher again.
Yeah, those were good.
And
Sweets and Goblins.
Yeah, I just don't have that. And this was my second year of going to Hollywood. And I want to love Hollywood. But to me, God, like, we went last week.
It was the roughest time I've ever had at Hornets.
In October. In mid-October.
It was the worst night it's the worst night collectively I've ever had at any haunted event.
We went through houses that had no scare actors for like 3 minutes.
When we went through Eternal Bloodlines, we got through 3/4 of the house and had seen one actual scare actor.
If that was my only night of going
I would have asked for a refund. We both said this.
I know. It was inexcusable.
Inexcusable. It was awful.
It was.
We walked through scare zones where no one was.
To be honest with you, I'm not even taking that into account.
No, I kind of wrote that night off because it was just so bad. Yeah.
I erased that off, and I was just thinking about like my first night, what I remembered, what I retained, and still to me, Knott's is going to be in my yearly rotation, I think.
Of course it is.
I had so much fun.
We had a great time there.
We had a great time.
Also, it's fucking reasonable.
And that's not to say that Horror Nights is unreasonable. I think Horror Nights is pretty reasonable for what it is.
Yeah.
It's all less than Oogie Boogie Bash. Here's the thing. This is what really did it for me. I sat in
the Euro fries.
Oh,
the
man.
Euro
Those Euro, yes.
God damn it.
I wish I had those fucking Euro tots right now.
That was the best drunk food I've ever had in my life. We weren't even drunk, but like it was the best, like you're out in the warm, like salty goodness.
God,
so good.
I wish I had that right now. Okay. Here's the clincher for me. When I sat up and I thought, you have a bunch of friends that we just did Universal Orlando with.
Mm-hmm.
When I thought...
what are we taking them to? Knott's.
Yeah. When I thought to myself, like...
Yeah. If they were only here for like a night or two, we're going to Knott's. We're not going to Hollywood.
Yeah.
Because especially to them, Hollywood is shit.
Hollywood would be so shitty. Yeah. And I don't know if I would have thought it was so shitty if I hadn't gone to Orlando. But like...
if you don't know any better.
If you don't know any better, but... God, you go through Hollywood and there's just so many black hallways and just like posters in there.
Yeah,
and, like,
it's
it just
dead.
sucks. And then if you have that and don't get actors, it just
It's bad.
it is
Yeah.
bad.
2019 Hollywood, still the best year I've ever been to.
Yeah, last year I thought was great.
Last year was great too. That was a contender for me.
I loved last year.
Yeah.
There was no low lights for me last year.
No.
This year, but maybe that's what makes this year so
Makes it seem
upsetting.
worse. But this does happen. Like I've been to years in Orlando that were definitely not as good too. Like it just does. Sometimes you have an off year, and
Okay, how do I fix Hollywood?
we need new creative people.
Yes, but if I don't have that, then I stop doing so much expensive IP.
And just do originals and
Do
put the money in that.
To originals, stop licensing music.
Maybe we don't need to license Slash anymore.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to license Slash.
They should have not licensed Slash and put more money into the Eternal Bloodlines house.
Right, yeah.
Maybe we wouldn't have so many black hallways.
Yeah, I don't think we're ever getting rid of the black hallways, I guess. But, man, I don't know.
I don't know now either. Now I feel like
For
maybe
me,
not so much better.
For me, I'm like, if I was like, what two of these would I
do again right now?
Right now, and it would be Orlando and Knott's.
I wouldn't choose Hollywood either. I guess you're right.
And it's sad.
It's sad to me because
It's
that's
sad.
my home.
I know you want to love it. That's
I
what
do
I'm-
still love it. We're
I
just
do-
being critical.
I do love it. I still have fun, and I'm
Yeah.
going to go again this year.
And
we have to go.
We have to go again. I don't regret buying the frequent fair pass there or anything. Like I've had wonderful times. Even when we went the other night when it was honestly
Yeah,
shitty,
yeah.
we left saying that was still really fun. Like we got to hang out and like we had a great time.
Yeah.
But like, yeah,
it's just an off year for Hollywood.
it's an off year for Hollywood.
Because I think about like, if you went right now, what houses would you like run to?
I mean, I honestly was thinking like maybe I'll hit it up on the way home.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, that sounds fun. 5:42. It's
just open. Oh wait, I can't even check the wait times yet.
wait a minute. Should we just go?
Yeah, let's go. We have passes. Let's check out. Let's go. I'm being serious.
All right.
We're gonna go to Horror Nights.
We're gonna go sneak. I can't say late though.
No, neither can I. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up.
Maybe we're going to Horror Nights right now.
Maybe gonna go to Horror Nights. We maybe talk to ourselves. What house would you go to right now?
Jet Exposure,
I wanna-
Texas, Monstros, Quiet Place. I've got a few I want to do again for sure.
Okay, let's.
Weekend just to see my girl. Maybe. Oh my god, I forgot her as character of the year. My plastic surgery girl in the weekend
She was
that has
good.
the vroom, vroom,
Yeah,
vroom
she was good.
saw thing. I love her.
She's
She
good.
blew me a kiss.
All right, so I think we're gonna go to.
We're going to Horror Nights
We're
right now.
going to Horror Nights.
All right. Well, that settles it.
Yeah, but I would say if Knott was equidistant, and we had a,
It's weirdly equidistant to like both of our homes from here too, which is funny.
God, and if I had a pass at Knott's,
I'd go there.
I go there. That's
Maybe we get the pass next year at Knott's. It's just a little further
it's
away,
just too
unfortunately.
far. It's just too far.
But it would be nice to do it 2 nights, though.
I know, and it'd be nice to do. Yeah,
We'll
agree.
see. We'll see.
Anyway, all right. So
Great haunt season in particular.
yeah, always fun.
I loved going to Orlando with you.
Yes, that was the
I'm
best.
so happy
That was my
I
favorite.
got to experience that with you for your first time.
Yes.
We had a wonderful time.
It was the best. We think about the highlights of the. I mean, like
that trip was just so fun.
and we've got once November hits, we're going to talk to you about going on a Cosmic Rewind together. We're going to talk to you
cried,
about.
spoiler alert.
Yeah, we're going to talk to you.
Hard, sobbed,
Yeah, we finally did the World Showcase together.
drank around the world. We got a lot of stories
we got
coming
a lot
up.
of stuff to talk about.
Could talk
like
more about
but
Dave's cankles.
That's
We
what
got
I was
a
going to
lot.
say. The highlights and the lowlights, the cankles. I have been walking on the walking pad.
Good job. Good job.
I know. I've got to get in shape for next haunt season.
Also, I think you just need to wear compression socks on the plane. I'll wear them too. I think that's what
God
set you
damn.
off.
That is so depressing that I'm
But Brittany
compression.
wears them.
I'm compression socks age.
But it's just a circulation thing.
That straight up sucks.
I'll wear them with you.
Great, thank you. Thank you. You're like,
Maybe it was also the multiple old fashions we had at the Delta Lounge
oh
before.
God. All right. That said, it was such a fun season. I'm sad it's gone. It's not gone. I mean,
We're going again right now because I can't let it go,
I
Dave.
know. Halloween is the best season.
I love
Halloween
it.
it's the greatest. Everybody's so happy.
It's just fun.
It's the best.
It's the best. I fucking love Halloween.
Halloween's the best. Halloween.
And I'm so happy to share with my pig this year.
Yeah, it was
all the events.
It was the greatest. We had so much fun. This is the best Spooktacular Finale. We drank the worst drink on the menu.
We did it.
We faced our fears.
This is the end of Grave and Glory.
Nobody shit their pants.
Nobody has shit their pants.
But that's our show. Did you go to all of these haunts? Do you have any thoughts about our rankings? Do you have any thoughts about...
Let us know.
Anything. Let us know. Hit us up on our Instagram. It's at MyTimeThePodcast on Instagram.
And at MyTimeThePodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah. Or if you want to call us, 559.
Please talk to us.
559 We Drunk. It's a real telephone number.
Existing phone number.
559-933-7865. If I told you how many variations of We Drunk or everything that Corey and I like spitballed back and forth to one another.
You would be calling more because we put a lot of time into this.
We're like, what is it? My Time was not available. My Time cost us a lot of money, but we didn't want to do that.
It was like $150 or something crazy.
No, it was like
a year.
Yeah, it was like ridiculous. So we landed on We Drunk. Call it, try it. If you don't believe us, try it.
Try it.
Leave us a message. Or leave us a toast, and if we use it, we'll send you a sticker.
Sorry, I'm a little behind on sending some people some stickers. They're coming.
Yeah, we'll send it. And please, if you're enjoying the podcast, take a minute to rate and review it on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get it.
Where get it?
Get it, girl.
Get it.
Go get it.
I feel like I was part of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Get it.
We're going to go see if Grandpa's there at Texas
Let's go see
Chainsaw.
if Grandpa's there, because he wasn't there last Wednesday.
All right, till next time. I'm Dave Killer or Grave.
I'm Gory.
All right, we love you, pigs.
Mahalo.
Bye.